Hello, this is Ricardo, and this is a compilation of all the logs I found so far in regards to the I.N.R.A Mycoid virus origins and the trail of breadcrumbs that I followed from one base to the next. There are spoilers involved. They are the actual logs from the videos I've put on YouTube and from the videos that are in the game. So if you want to stop and discover these yourselves, then I suggest you don't watch this video. If you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe and the like button to show that you'd like to see more videos like this on YouTube, and the reminder icon, that way you know when I'm putting more videos of Elite Dangerous on YouTube.
We received a very exciting delivery today. Pieces of recovered Thargoid technology, even fragments of spacecraft. Most of the samples are damaged, but we should still be able to put them to good use. Thargoid technology is, in many respects, far more advanced than our own. Understanding it could open up all kinds of possibilities and rapidly accelerate our own development. Space travel, energy, weapons, even medicine. The applications are potentially limitless. I suspect there's a key discovery to be made, one that will open up the aliens' technology to us. Who knows? Perhaps I'll be the one to make it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's lots of work to be done before we can start popping champagne corks. I've given the research teams their assignments. Let's see what they can find out. Progress is slow, and much of what we knew about the Thargoids, or thought we knew, has had to be revised. But I suppose that's to be expected. We now have 12 active research projects focusing on a number of different areas. I find myself growing impatient with some of my colleagues. But that's the problem with being a perfectionist. I set high standards for myself, and I expect others to do the same. Phase 3 has been a failure. I sincerely believed we were making progress, but just because something works in theory does not mean it will work in practice. There have also been issues with the junior researchers. Some of them think they're being monitored, and one actually believes she's being held here against her will. Of course, those who have worked in this sector before know this is not the case. Naturally, our employers keep an eye on us. The work we're doing is extremely sensitive. We're researching alien technology, after all. It's a question of security. Some people can find a conspiracy in anything. Our employers have become preoccupied with one of the research projects. Although I've repeatedly told them it's a dead end. It isn't even an official project. It's just something that one of the junior researchers cooked up in his spare time. He's a specialist in agricultural science, trying to wipe out famine or something. Apparently, he's created a biological agent that incapacitates the alien technology. Here we are, devoting millions of credits and countless hours to understanding this technology, and he's trying to destroy it. If it were up to me, I'd cut him from the project entirely. But our employers seem to think his work has merit.
I don't have long. Once they realize I'm gone and the data's been copied, they'll send their attack dogs after me. I know they will. But someone needs to show the galaxy what the I.N.R.A really is. What it's doing. What it's hiding. I'm sorry for the part I played in this. Truly. I was a researcher at a facility in the Hermitage 4A system exploring agricultural applications of Thargoid-derived technology. The lab was owned by the I.N.R.A. Publicly, the I.N.R.A. likes to emphasize the whole altruistic cooperative thing, but in recent years it's become much more focused on weapons testing and manufacture. Believe me, it's a military contractor in all but name. The nature of my field was the study of disease-resistant crops, mycoproteins, that sort of thing. I was getting good results, even if my superiors took no notice. Then everything changed. I was running a bunch of control experiments, just trying a few things out, really. It was an afterthought. It wasn't even related to the main body of my work. The results were interesting. I didn't think they were particularly significant, but something made me take it directly to one of the I.N.R.A. guys. I didn't want to go to Dr. Prince. She'd always been pretty dismissive of my work. I would give anything to be able to undo that decision. Anything. All my equipment and samples were whisked off to some remote facility. Later I found out I'd been taken to a weapons testing site in the I.N.R.A. system. My research was used as the basis of a new superweapon designed to destroy the Thargoids. I heard they experimented on live captives. I doubt any of it was strictly legal. It certainly wasn't ethical. To the public, the I.N.R.A. is a symbol of all that is possible when superpowers set aside the differences and work together. Well, it might have started off like that, but it's something very different now. Progress at any cost. Might makes right. All our worst impulses channeled into an unaccountable organization focused solely on making bigger and more powerful weapons. Bigger and more powerful weapons. God. If you find this, if someone finds this, make sure it gets out. Please. It's time people knew the truth.
Finally, we have a breakthrough. A researcher at the facility in the Hermitage 4A system has found something, stumbled onto something by all accounts, and it's pushed our research forward dramatically. Essentially, it's a kind of fungus, one that appears to have a significant effect on Thargoid technology. We knew their tech was partly biological, but until now we couldn't find a way to use that fact to our advantage. The theory is that if we could somehow get the fungus into their starships, specifically their hyperdrives, we could shut them down. They'd be unable to leave their system. We could end the war in a single stroke. We have built a dedicated new laboratory so we can properly test the effects of the mycoid. We also have access to an intact Thargoid ship and a living specimen. I plan to test the mycoid on both. Some of my colleagues have expressed reservations about experimenting on a living creature, but I have no such qualms. We must know what the mycoid can do. Excellent news. We have received a second specimen. We can now accelerate the pace of our testing. So far, our experiments indicate that the fungus affects not only the Thargoids' technology, but also their physiology, as evidenced by the degeneration of our specimen. These results are highly encouraging. If the mycoid can hurt them, truly hurt them, we may have found the means to win this war. Several of my colleagues have left the project in protest over our treatment of the creature. If it were up to me, I would have them executed as traitors. Our latest tests were extremely successful. The Mycoid can paralyze a Thargoid system, either physical or technological, in a matter of seconds. It is extremely effective. I confess, the knowledge that the Mycoid causes the Thargoids physical pain brings me some measure of satisfaction. But when one has seen firsthand the effect of their weapons, seen the destruction, the chaos, the bodies, can one be blamed for wanting them to suffer as we have? The hauliers have departed for the HIP 593821B system with the samples, ready to start mass production. We know the Mycoid works. Now it falls to other members of the project to determine how it can be effectively deployed. I know there are some who will condemn me for my part in this project. Let them. I harbor no remorse. The Thargoids understand only one thing: destruction. They will not stop until every last one of us has been reduced to dust. We have created a weapon that can prevent such a catastrophe. We have a moral obligation to use it.
I understand that this is a lucrative contract, but I really think we need to take a second look at the production schedule. We have neither the facilities nor the workforce to deliver what's been promised. Furthermore, the facility should be subjected to a complete decontamination before we start. That could take weeks. Essentially, we can't produce the chemicals in the quantity requested within the given time frame. It just can't be done. I'd also like to renew my request for more information on the purpose of the chemical.
Welcome to the position of Site Manager. We're looking forward to working with you on the Mycoid project. I understand that you have raised questions regarding the reassignment of your predecessor. It was decided that her experience and expertise could be put to better use in another part of our organization. As discussed, it is of the utmost importance that the chemical be in production within 3 weeks. We have every faith in you. Our analysis has confirmed that the latest batch was contaminated and is therefore useless. I'm sure we hardly need to remind you how essential it is that this project proceeds without complication. The cause of the contamination must be determined immediately. We cannot afford any more mistakes.
The issue with the previous batch arose because your unrealistic deadlines forced us to take shortcuts. If we were given more time, mistakes of this kind would not occur. With that said, we have rectified the issue and extended working hours so we can replace the tainted batch without deviating from schedule. The next shipment will arrive in HIP 7158A2D within 72 hours.
Every day the orders come dropping off more of this stuff. Others come to pick it up. So we've been told not to ask questions. See, there's rumours it's some kind of pesticide, right? But with the amount we got in storage, they must be expecting one hell of an outbreak. Some of the top brass from I.N.R.A's visiting. Boss says he was here to talk about investment, but this guy had a military smell all over him. I know the public thinks that I.N.R.A is this great cooperative enterprise, but I don't buy it. I think there's more to them than meets the eye. One thing's for sure, they're running the show here. So, the inbound orders have stopped coming, but the collection ships are still flying in. The place finally is being emptied. I was talking to one of the order pilots down the docks today. According to her, this is all part of some kind of top-secret anti-Thargoid weapon thing. Apparently, they're flying this stuff to a med research facility in LP 389-957, wherever that is. She reckons this has been going on for months at sites all over the galaxy. So, it's not pesticide then? Well, at least not in the conventional sense.
I don't know who they were exactly. Some corporate bigwigs. But they definitely convinced the board. I can't say I'm surprised. They offered a lot of money for access to our labs, apparently. The board probably didn't even ask what they wanted them for. At least I got the bosses to promise the lab wouldn't be used to make biological weapons. This is a medical facility, after all. I will not be bullied into participating in this so-called war just because some corporation gave us their money. It turns out they want us to make some kind of vaccine, an antidote for an unnamed biological weapon. They've given us samples and data, but whenever we press for more information, our requests are met with silence. We're working in the dark, with our hands tied behind our backs. In practical terms, we've got everything we need, but I have no idea where half of it comes from. They've given us material the weapon's been tested on, both organic and inorganic. Human and non-human. I'm starting to wonder if the weapon's even designed to target humans. We've finally been given access to a sample of the weapon, and it's opened up all kinds of avenues. I still worry about the ease with which our benefactors acquired the samples, but I'm probably just being paranoid. They obviously have deep pockets. Having access to unlimited funds must open all kinds of doors. After months of research, the solution ended up being pretty simple. Once you break it down, it's a fairly straightforward organic compound. Little more than a fungus, really. We tested the vaccine on some of the older samples, and while it doesn't undo any existing damage, it does prevent the weapon from doing any further harm. Our sponsors certainly seem happy. The lab is being dismantled. Seems our sponsors want to move us to a new location. Their representatives appeared a few days ago, demanded that all data be transferred to their servers and all samples be put into storage, ready to be moved. Why are they doing this? The lab more than meets our needs. They made sure of it. I tried to talk to them, but I just got stonewalled. Apparently, all information is on a need-to-know basis. And I don't need to know.